morning, intuitives, and those who watch my narcissism videos. I figured I'd get a video in before I head off to meet with my estate attorney and start, this long process that I need to get done as soon as possible so I can finally go no contact with what's left of my narcissistic family. But I wanted to do an important video on the narcissism front today, and it's something that I haven't talked about yet, and it's a dynamic that I would venture to say all of us are familiar with in narcissistic families, and that is the golden child. The golden child, the double standards of the golden child, how the golden child can do no wrong, and how everything is done for the golden child to protect their status quo, their fantasy, their delusion. So, what is the golden child? The golden child, most of you know if you're watching my videos, is the child the narcissist favors, the one that, they can do no wrong, that they put up on a pedestal. Black sheep's the opposite of that. If you're watching this, you, like me, were the black sheep. So my younger brother, who's 2 years younger, was the golden child, and he could, he was put on a pedestal his whole life. And there's a lot of similarities between me and him and Ollie Matthews and his brother. Granted, me and my brother are only 2 years apart, but my brother they held him back till he was 6 in school, and, oh, he's so smart, this and that. Well, when you're a year older than all the other kids, I mean, yeah, that year older becomes less and less of an advantage as you get older, but the difference between a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old is huge. But no, it's just, he's so great, never finished college or anything, but, that doesn't matter. Middle school, that's the most important time of your life is middle school. I didn't know that. I don't know. I was too busy fighting in middle school. I guess that's why my life sucks. I didn't realize, when you're 12, 13, that's when you're supposed to find the girl you marry, and, everything's set from there, because I don't know, Chester County logic. But my golden child brother, my mother babied him like he was a 12-year-old till the day she died, sorry. That is, a common dynamic with the golden child. The golden child, and I'll get into another video about how my mother raised me like a daughter, but that's a borderline mother thing, but that needs its own video, so we're not going to get into that. But the golden child almost always is a man child, is a baby Huey, is babied. You look on other narcissism channels and you listen to the black sheep talk about the golden child and how the golden child was treated. Golden child's almost always, always, always babied, always this perpetual teenager. And what it is, in my opinion, is the narcissist, a lot of times, as I've mentioned, is obsessed with keeping up with the Joneses and that family image and, the things people talk about. And where I'm from, everything's fucking about high school. So to try to perpetuate that golden high school era of the great golden child on the sports team, that's what they live for. And of course, the golden child, their whole lives think that they're like, some great savant, something special. Ollie Matthews referred to his brother as precious. I refer to mine as the prince, because he was treated like a prince. And till the day my mother died, he was treated like a 12-year-old prince. Even her friends admitted that. Did his laundry, everything. He didn't do anything. He doesn't work. He sits in his room watching on his phone, watching sports, only bathes once a week, smokes weed, and has these delusions of grandeur that he'll one day be a real life Sonny Corinthos. Yes, that's a soap opera reference, deal with it. But most of you, General Hospital's been around forever. Most of you at least know who Sonny Corinthos is. That's everything my brother wishes he was and thinks he was. And there's nothing that can change this dynamic. The golden child, no matter what they do, is always the golden child. If you go into my playlist of narcissistic abuse, somewhere in there's a couple videos Ollie did for me, a few years ago. I think the most recent one's like 3 years old. But it talks a little bit about this stuff I'm talking about now. And, my golden child brother went to jail and I was still the black sheep. And even Ollie, who knows way more about this stuff than I do, is like, wait a minute, the black sheep the golden child went to jail and you're still the black sheep? Yeah, that's how deep this goes. There is no logic to it. There is no rules. It's just they're good. Everything they do is good and not their fault. And everything you do, black sheep, it's never good enough and you have no rights. People can treat you however they want. And that's another thing with the golden child dynamic. The more they fuck up, the more the narcissist bends over backwards to help them. Nothing's their fault. Nothing. No matter how many cars they wreck, the narcissist will bail them out. How many jobs they quit, drug tests they fail, the golden child will always be the golden child to the narcissist. And it all goes back to that error they want to relive, that error they want frozen in time, when the golden child was useful to them, when the golden child, helped their supply. And in my narcissistic family, that's, the high school sports team, and in the local paper that nobody reads, because school spirit in high school is what Chester County's all about. And I will add, not that I was unathletic. I was an assistant captain of my ice hockey team, but it was a travel team, so it had nothing to do with the school. Even though I was competing at a higher level than the school, it didn't count, because not for the school and the school spirit and the letterman's jacket and all that crap that I didn't give a fuck about. So stuff like that. So the narcissist will always try to relive that era when the golden child literally was everything they wanted, their perfect little pawn, their perfect little, narcissists love this, reflection of them, for them to get that ultimate amount of supply. And like I said, and I'll say it again, for my mom, it was keeping up with the Joneses was her ultimate narcissistic supply. But in the end, we all know the golden child's a loser. The one thing that we do learn, because we have to as a black sheep, is self-reliance. When everybody's against you, or at the very least, it's just apathetic. When a lot of people see what you're going through and either aid the narcissist or don't do anything at the time, you learn something as a black sheep. You learn that you can't count on anybody, and after a while, you don't need anyone. With the golden child, they need the narcissist because they're so babied, they're so pampered that they can't survive on their own. They have no way of surviving outside of that narcissistic bubble. For black sheeps, go no contact, move 3 hours away, hell yeah. And when you do, and I suggest you all do it, you learn that everything, it's not you. Once you get out of that environment, you'll see for yourself. You'll see. And people telling you differently, I guarantee you they're people that, have lived in the same area they grew up in their whole lives and know no different. So they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I do. The golden child can't exist outside of that environment where the narcissist babies them, tells them they're great, buys into their delusions of grandeur. And the enablers and the flying monkeys do it too, because my mother's gone, but yet my aunts and all that are still, the golden child's still up there like Osby's 12, still babying him like he's 12 years old. And it's not his fault. Poor him, boo hoo hoo, he didn't finish college because he was a drug dealer and he went to jail. The poor thing, his dreams to be a teenager forever and he'll never achieve it. Yeah. So they still buy in to this golden child narrative that, okay, this, he is who he is and we must protect his delusion at all costs. And that's what a narcissist will do too. A narcissist will protect the delusions of the golden child at all costs, no matter what it costs financially, be it, lawyers and new cars and prison commissaries and all that, drugs, no matter whose lives have to be destroyed and sacrificed, no matter what, the delusions of the golden child must be protected, because the narcissist needs that golden child. In a lot of ways, usually with a narcissistic parent and the golden child, there's a level of codependency going on. The golden child is usually kept in a perpetual state of like teenhood, and the narcissist feeds off of that perpetual teenager, man child, baby Huey needing them, because a narcissist deep down needs to be needed, needs someone that's willing to tolerate their bullshit, because most people won't. Most people catch on after a relatively short amount of time. That's why narcissists have such hard times maintaining long-term friendships, because they can fool people, but not forever. Especially borderlines, they can do it a lot less because they're way more obvious. And these are dynamics you need to know. Understand, as the black sheep, you're always going to be the black sheep. The game is rigged. The game has always been rigged against you. You just got to get away. And if you're in a situation where you can't get away right at the moment, by all means, do what I did. Point out the double standards. Call out the golden child. If you're telling the truth, what are they going to do? They're already coming at you. Have your fun. Air their dirty laundry. They hate that. They really do. You will never, ever, fellow black sheep, get the narcissist to respect you. But if you do know the right things, and they know you don't give a fuck what people think, if they know you're not playing their game, you might be able to get them to fear you, and that'll at least get them to back off for a time. So it's something to take into consideration. Again, what you're thinking about the golden child and how fucked up that situation is, it's most likely true, if not at least most true. Know that you're not the only one who sees it. Talk to other people who observe it. Expose it for what it is. Because deep down, the narcissist isn't doing the golden child any favors either. It is a disgusting codependency. So I hope that answered that question. Please like and subscribe to the channel and go back and watch the older videos. Come on. Come on. It doesn't cost you anything. Watch the older videos. They need the views. I need the views. And like and subscribe. I just told you that, but I'm telling you again because you need to do it because most of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed. And I need to grow the channel. Come on. I need to catch a break. It doesn't cost anything. Come on. Why? Can't I have that much? All right. I'll probably try to get one up tonight.